but yeah, he kind of died in the process, so that makes him a tragic hero. It's perfectly okay to have a tragic hero, unless you're planning on writing a sequel. So, and then the last kind of hero is the catalyst hero. It's usually used in episodic stories, like where you're publishing a chapter at a time in Asimov's or Clark's world, like they used to do in the 40s, 50s, 60s, where you'd get a chapter of a book every month, that kind of thing. That's kind of gone by the wayside. Or if you're doing a series of short stories, or if you're really good and you've got a series of books that you're working on, you got that 18-book contract and you're cranking them out, whatever. This type of hero doesn't change much. He invokes change on other characters. So Beverly Hills Cop, who's the hero?
Axel.
No. He does not have the most character arc. He doesn't have the most character growth.
Okay.
So he is a catalyst hero. He is a style of hero, but he is not the hero. The younger cop of the two, she got the older bald guy with the big bushy mustache, and
Judge Reinhold's character.
Judge Reinhold,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Judge Reinhold's character. He's the hero of that, at least of the first movie, because he changes the most. He learns the most.
I see. Okay.
So, whereas Eddie Murphy's character is the catalyst for that change, for that betterment of Judge Reinhold's character. So, before I jump into Mentor, any questions over hero?
So tragic, can it be that the hero dies, but they've instilled something in a mentee or a child
Sure.
that comes out in the next book, perhaps?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll talk about that as part of the stages of the hero's journey of returning the elixir and changing the ordinary world after your adventure's done. So yeah. So the mentor. Good teachers and mentors are enthused about their work, which in today's society here in America, most of them aren't, for good reason. The Greek phrase entheos is the root of the word enthused, which means God-inspired, having God in you, in the presence of God, that kind of thing. So, mentors are enthused. They may not be enthusiastic. I mean, you never saw Obi-Wan going, go Luke, go Luke! That's the next character, right?
Bone finger.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he was passionate about what he was teaching Luke Skywalker. He was enthusiastic, or he was enthused about passing on knowledge of Luke's father, well, kinda, and the lightsaber on to Luke so that Luke could go out and hopefully rebuild the Jedis. Or at least that was Obi-Wan's purpose, that was his goal. So, the psychological functions of a mentor, they are a wiser, nobler, more godlike person or self than both the reader and the hero. They are somebody to look up to. So, when I'm writing mentors in my books, I think of my grandfather. No better mentor for me, ever. So, a mentor can be a former hero. It can be somebody who is now retired for whatever reason, or they're too old and decrepit to physically go out and be the hero. So now they have accepted the role of mentor for themselves to pass on their knowledge and expertise and wisdom to the next generation.
So is a crone, can that be a hero?
Mm-hmm.
A hero or a mentor?
Well,
Like the crone character that I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
can totally be a mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
but not a hero?
They could be a retired hero, or they could take up the mantle of a hero. I just don't see, not Wizard of Sea, Wrinkle in Time.
Madeline Langle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They had the wizened old wizards, witches, I forget what she called them in the books. Those were definitely mentors, but they were retired heroes. They used to be the plane jumpers, the world travelers and all that. So. A lot of heroes seek out mentors because their parents are inadequate, missing, dead, just they're not good role models. So let's take Star Wars. He's got Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, Luke Skywalker does, right? So he has role models in his life. He's not happy being the moisture farmer, but he's got good role models to teach him how to do the right thing. And then he meets Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan says, "Oh, we must go on a grand adventure." Luke says, "No, I have the farm to think about." And then they realize, oh, stormtroopers killed these Jawas, and they tracked down the droids, and oh shit, I gotta go back to the farm to save my aunt and uncle. And so he hops in the land speeder and takes off. He gets back, aunt and uncle are dead. At that point, he accepts the mentor because his current family structure is now missing or dead.
That's also your turning point that you were described earlier, the reluctant hero accepting and being the willing hero.
Yes, yes.
Because that's that point where he said, well, there's nothing left for me here.
Right.
I might as well
Go with you.
and take this adventure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on the flip side of that coin, the heroes are seeking out a mentor because they don't have the current structure to better themselves in. Mentors might seek out the heroes because society itself needs a new hero. That's not really the case with Star Wars. Obi-Wan didn't go searching out Luke Skywalker. He was just patiently waiting in his cave for the day the kid showed up. But there's been several books I've read. It's Lawrence White Evans is the author, and I forget the titles of the books, but it's a trilogy in which the start of the book, one of the heroes of the realm he's the sword hero, and he's getting old and decrepit and infirm and realizes, I can't do the job anymore. So he shows up in a small village after doing some research and picks I think it's the blacksmith's son, says, in kind of backhandedly, slyly says, you're the new hero. And trains him, and the kid doesn't know what he's getting into until it's kind of too late, until he's taking up the mantle of the hero, and he's an unwilling hero at that point. And so he goes out in search of the other heroes of the realm, the thief hero and the mage hero and the so on and so forth. They're all corrupt, they're all blowing off their job, they're not doing the right thing. And the archwizard who runs the realm is taking over things, and it's really bad. So the kid who's the new hero had been sought out by a mentor to be trained to become a hero of the realm. See where I'm going with that? So a hero can be made by the mentor. Dramatic functions, the things that a mentor can do for the story. They can teach, not just the hero, but the reader as well. Anybody here read the Myth series by Robert Asprin? Comedic fantasy. Skeeve, who's the protagonist, meets Oz, who's the demon wizard guy, and as they go through magic teachings and travel the world and other dimensions, Oz teaches Skeeve the ins and outs of how things operate, both magically, socially, culturally, all that good stuff. And as Oz is teaching Skeeve through dialogue, the reader is learning about the world and the magic system and all that at the same time. So the mentor doesn't just teach the hero, teaches the reader as well. The careful part here, the thing to avoid is turning your mentor into that voiceover guy that just info dumps everything. So it's got to be worked in carefully, the teaching has to be worked in carefully into the progression of the plot. We can't have plot progressing great for 30 pages and then 5 pages of info dump. Because about page 3, your reader's going to go, where is the action? Or, nah, never mind, and they'll just put the book away. Yeah.
Maybe that's why there's so many teenager heroes today in books, because they need all of that.
Right, that could be.
Learning Harry Potter and...
Right. Yeah, because if somebody tossed me book 6 of Harry Potter, I'd be lost. Of course, it's book 6 in a 7-book series. But if you read it from book 1 on, you get those small bits of information come out throughout the entire series. So
that all the little people, all the teenagers are learning along the way.
Right, right. Yeah, just avoid info dumps from your mentor if you can avoid it. Gift giving. So this is huge in Greek mythology, especially for Perseus. And I'm not going to read off the list of things that were given to him by the gods. It's here on the paper. Mentors give gifts to the hero to aid them in furtherance of their goals. It can be advice, it can be physical items, it can be clues as to the how to solve the mystery, things like that. So, however, a gift should be earned through some sort of sacrifice or commitment. In this case, Obi-Wan had the lightsaber that he's going to give to Luke Skywalker. This was your father's lightsaber. I'm going to give this to you now. Luke says, you're a crazy old man. I got the moisture farm to worry about. And then through unfolding events, Luke comes back to him and says, yeah, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe we do need to go rescue this princess chick. At that point, Obi-Wan says, okay, here's your lightsaber. Luke Skywalker had committed to action to rescue Princess Leia, and Obi-Wan gave him the lightsaber, gave him training on how to use it while they were traveling through space in Millennium Falcon. So that is, plus he got blasted by the little glowing ball thing, so that was a little bit of sacrifice, minor sacrifice. He had to go through pain to learn how to use the lightsaber. It had to be earned. It can't just be a boon that is given to the hero. Oh, hey, thanks, and he runs off. It's got to be earned somehow. It makes it more valuable. That way, if he loses the gift later, it's a more tragic event. Because if somebody were to walk up to me and give me the latest, greatest, brand new laptop, oh, cool, thanks. I throw it in the backseat of my car, somebody breaks in and steals it, well, I'm out a broken window. Big deal. I'd be pissed off because somebody violated my privacy, but or not violated my personal space. But if I had saved up my money for 2 years and bought the latest and greatest laptop, and the same thing happens, somebody thieves it, I'm going to be pissed for 2 years because it took me 2 years to earn it. So see where I'm going with that, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. An inventor. The mentor can invent things also to help the hero. And the greatest example that I could find was Daedalus inventing the wax and feather wings for Icarus to escape the labyrinth. And of course, he also gave him advice as well. So he gave him two things. He gave him advice, don't fly too close to the sun, and by the way, here's these wings that I made for you. So Icarus took half of the gifts and used the wings and got caught up in the fact that, hey, look, I can fly, and flew too high, got too close to the sun, the wax melted, and splat. So this also means just because the mentor gives the hero something good, doesn't mean something good is going to come out of it. It's up to the hero to use the gift properly. The mentor can also be the hero's conscience. Jiminy Cricket comes to mind. And if you read a really, really old version of Pinocchio, Pinocchio squashes Jiminy Cricket because he gets tired of him. Going on. So, yes, yes. So the Disney version isn't quite true to the story. Well, the Disney version of anything isn't quite true to the original stories they borrow from. But and also the hero can ignore the mentor. Like my previous example, Daedalus says, don't fly too close to the sun. Icarus says, okay, thanks. And he does anyway. And this is a good thing for your reader to experience, where the reader sees the hero going down the wrong path, and the reader can scream at the book, but so-and-so said to go left, not right. And it gets them more involved. And it also ups the tension because obviously the hero is taking the wrong path. So that's a mistake that they made. What bad stuff is going to happen to the hero? Readers love that kind of stuff. They love seeing heroes getting kicked in the knee and beaten up and all that. So that's a good trick to use. Don't overuse it, obviously. Don't have him ignore the mentor every single time. Or maybe that's a character flaw that your hero has. He doesn't take advice. He doesn't want to hear it until he finally listens to the right advice at the right time, does the right thing during the climax, saves the world, and realizes, oh, maybe I should start listening to people. That's character growth. So it can be done that way.
So that works real well with teenage hero characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they already know everything anyway.
Yep. Yep. I did this in my book. I won't give it away for those of you who haven't got to it yet. You will in this month's mission. So yeah, but I had Lauren ignore advice. And also, there can be multiple mentors in a hero's life. You could be the good mentor, the little angel over here, and the bad mentor, the devil over here. Guess which one's going to be more enticing, more the hero more willing to listen. It's going to be the devil. All right. So